Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning. We are live in both places. Yes. So I'm Angel Balance. I'm Life Fit Mama, and you are hopefully watching this live, either replay or watching me live because you have clicked the little notification that says receive notifications when Angel goes live, so that you don't miss a single moment that I go live. But the other thing I want to make sure that you know is that you can join me in my Life at Mama Collective community group, which is absolutely free, open to the public, and I've included a link for you there so that you can click and join in the group, where I go live like this pretty often to help mamas overcome every snare and trap of the enemy, from emotional eating to time management and life overwhelm, and that mindset that yes, we can do all things. We are not defined by our circumstances, and we don't have to stay stuck in them either. We can be successful in living a life fit and healthy and balanced while keeping all of our priorities in place. So welcome to today's topic. We're going to be chatting about, I hope that as you jump on, whether you're watching live or the replay, that you will let me know that you are here. Say hi, and let's get into today. So I just went into first this morning. You know, I've been telling you that I've partnered with a friend of mine, Janice, and we are co-hosting a Rise Up and Transform group. It's a challenge group for ladies who want to start tackling those health and fitness goals, right? So one of the things that we're doing right now, as we're in this prep week, is, you know, helping the mamas, helping the women get ready for their transformation. We're setting them up for success. And one of the things that we do as part of that is, you know, this morning I help them map out how to go from realizing what their goal is and how to get there in little bite-sized pieces, so that we don't just look at the one big goal and get discouraged and overwhelmed. And it was some of what I talked about in our last chat together here in the Life at Mama Collective group about, you know, the difference, why people set goals for themselves but then never achieve them. Why is that? Well, I talked about it in our last chat, and one of the things that we talked about was the difference between the two different mindsets that happen to help determine whether or not you're going to achieve your goals and what to do about it, so that you can start to reverse that trend in your own life. Yeah. So I invite you to go back and watch that. But today, I want to help you flip the script. Let's say that you've watched my last chat, you messaged me a little bit. Some of you started messaging me about it, and we've been in dialogue, and some of you have gone ahead and scheduled a couple of private phone calls with me, and you know, we've really gotten off to a great start in identifying that negative narrative that is going on in our minds. You know, we start to recognize as we go to set goals for ourselves, and you know, that immediately we are hearing this little voice inside that says, you're probably not going to achieve that. That's not going to happen for you. You know, you'll never be successful in that. So why don't you dumb it down? Or why don't you make it less than, so it's something that you can do? Or why don't you just give up altogether? Because, you know, why bother? Why even try? And so I'm gonna help you flip that script today. And one of the things that I know that I hear a lot, whether they're from, you know, women in my challenge groups or women who are just reaching out to me online, you know, who's, you know, they'll see me make a post and they're saying, oh, you know, that I see your workouts all the time. You know, I run into people all the time, and they'll say, oh, I see your workouts on Facebook, or I see you doing your meal plan, or I see you cooking with your kids or whatever. And, you know, it's just hard for me to do it, you know, because I'll ask them, I'll say, well, why don't you join in? Why don't you join me? There's an open door here. You're welcome to join me. And they'll say, oh, you know, I'm really bad at staying motivated. And it's like they allow that narrative. What they're doing is they're vocalizing the little voice in their head, the negative narrative, and they're giving it more power than the still small voice that I believe is God, that is reminding you that all things are possible, that to him who believes, that you really can do all things through him. So the through him part is just that first step. We got to remember that if we, instead of relying on that negative Nancy narrative, we lean into his voice instead, we will start to hear what really is possible for us and help to take that struggle out, right? So I've put some examples here. It says, it's hard to find time to work out and meal plan. I struggle with nutrition. I'm really bad at staying motivated. If you hear yourself saying any of these things or even thinking them, or maybe you have a different one, feel free to share it in the comments. Maybe I guarantee you somebody else in this group, somebody else here has heard that same negative voice. And let me tell you something, that was one thing that in our Rise Up vision board party that blew me away, was when we were asking women each day to start to expose the lies of those negative narratives in their head. Y'all, every single time, and we're talking tens, we were just under 100 women in this group, and comment after comment, the same lies were being repeated. Y'all, the devil doesn't know any new tricks. He really doesn't. So when I hear women start to say, and look, y'all, the reason why I can speak to this is because I've lived it and because I have my own negative narrative that, I'm always overcoming is the way that I say it. There are some that I am more successful now at flipping the script really quickly, and some that I've been able to completely abolish through practice and of what I'm about to teach you. But then also, there's always a new challenge for me. There's always a new negative mindset, new negative thinking, new negative thought that I start to recognize, that I go, that's not me. That's not the voice of God. I know who that is. That must be the enemy. And I'm going to stop you right there, devil. You know what I'm saying? So when you start to hear yourself say, or you start to hear that negative voice in your head say, this is hard, or you start to type it out to somebody in a message, maybe me, or you start to think it to yourself, this is hard. This is a struggle for me. I struggle with this. Even in like coffee chat or, office talk, when you're trying to, agree with the group and be supportive and all, why is it that we agree with all the negative stuff instead of saying, oh yeah, I've dealt with that too, but you know what, this is what really helps me. So we're going to flip it. When we hear ourselves start to say, that's hard, or I struggle with that, or I'm really bad at this, we're going to flip it to, I haven't learned how to do that yet. I haven't learned how to do this yet. Whatever the hard thing, the thing that we're saying is hard. So and we're going to say, instead of saying this is hard, this is my struggle, I'm really bad at that, we're going to flip the script and we're going to identify it as, this is my challenge to overcome. So your challenge, when I say this is my challenge is to find the information that will help me figure out to actually overcome the thing that I'm saying is hard. You see what I'm saying? So and doesn't it kind of help put that in perspective? This is what I do. So if I was to sit here and say, it's hard for me to find time to work out, instead I would say, I haven't figured out how to create time to work out and without upsetting my home schedule with my husband and my kids. So I'm going to accept this as my current challenge to overcome. I need to get better. I need to learn how to get better at managing my time, right? So it kind of helps to flip that script from, this is really hard, this is a struggle, I'm really bad at it, which is defeatist, and operating from that scarcity, the lack mentality of, this is impossible for me, and it actually flips it over into the realm of possibility. And I recognize, hey, it's not impossible unless I let it be. So that, it's a powerful thing when we start to realize that our mindset is actually a powerful tool that can either help us progress or stop us dead in our tracks, right? It can actually prevent us from taking action on the very thing that could bring us to the place of freedom in the very area of life that we feel held most captive and we crave the most freedom for ourselves. We know that if we could just break through in this one area, then we would be happier, right? We would be more fulfilled. We would feel more empowered. And unless we choose to allow ourselves to succeed, we're going to continue to allow that mindset to hold us back, that negative narrative. So for you today, I would love if you would even start to, throw it in the comments below, reach out to me and share it with me. I would love to hear from you, but I want you at the very least to write it down in your own time and space. Maybe you have a journal. Maybe you have a dry erase board. Maybe you have a screensaver, a notepad in your phone. And I want you to write it out. What is it that you find yourself telling yourself it's hard to do? What is it that you say, I struggle with a lot? Recognize your own narrative, either in the head or even whenever it comes out of your mouth. And when you write it out, when you start to think, okay, what is it that I really want for myself? Okay, I want to blank. So whether it's I want to get better at planning my meals ahead of time so that I don't self-sabotage and be so tempted to go through the drive-through, right? Whatever, if that's my goal, then instead of saying, God, it's so hard to plan ahead, it's so hard to meal plan, or I struggle with meal planning, instead I'm going to say, my current challenge is learning how to make time to meal plan simple meals that I know I would eat, and I'm going to figure it out. So then my challenge is, what do you do anytime you have a challenge in front of you? Anytime you are facing a challenge, whether it's with your kids or your spouse, this is no different. When you're helping your kid figure out homework and you're like, don't give up. Don't just be like, ugh, and throw your hands in the air and walk away. No, let's figure it out. Well, it's the same thing for you. So with this current challenge that I'm facing, what is the how? Stop putting it on someone else to come and save you, and instead you be your own hero. And I know that's kind of like, oh, maybe that offended you a little bit that I just said that, but decide not to be offended. Decide to see the truth in it and realize you can. Nothing is impossible for the Lord. Nothing is impossible for you. And you can learn how to manage your time better, to do meal planning. You can learn how to carve out 30 minutes a day that won't disturb your husband and family life, so that you can get your workout in. You can. It is possible for you to do those things, to get motivated and stay motivated daily. And you know what? All it takes is a minute of saying, okay, I'm going to write down what it is that I want and what it is that I've been saying that I've been struggling or what's hard. I'm going to instead recognize that that's my challenge, and I'm going to ask myself, what can I do differently than what I've been doing? And I'm just going to make a list of ideas. And by identifying, this is the crazy part. Everybody's like, oh, I struggle with motivation. I struggle with staying motivated every day. And the reason why a lot of times is because you're thinking motivation has to come in order for you to take action, when in actuality, you need to start taking action. And action, even if it's imperfect action, actually motivates you and keeps you going as you start to realize what doesn't work for you and what does. So identifying an action, identifying what you can do, identifying what, those ideas of things that you could start to take action on to help you get to your goal, creates this hope inside of you, and that maybe you could actually do it, and then acting on that hope by, allowing yourself to make mistakes and forgive yourself if you do, but also allowing yourself to act on the possibility that you might actually get it right and figure this thing out, though taking those action steps is going to create the clarity and the motivation for you to do more and to keep on going. And y'all, it's not a matter of overthinking. It's more of a matter of doing that brings success. Okay, a lot of people think that we have to have everything exactly planned out, and the truth is we don't have to have it all planned out. The truth is we need one or two really great ideas, that we, even small ideas that we could possibly put in place in our life, and start doing them and figure it out as we go. So I would love to hear, state what your challenge is, and not what's hard for you, not what's a struggle, remember, we're flipping the script on those words. We're no longer saying this is hard, I struggle with, or I'm really bad at. Instead, we're going to say, this is my challenge right now, and this is how I'm going to address it. I want to hear it. I want to hear you becoming the hero of your own life. Lean into that still small voice. Lean into that presence of God. And he's there waiting for you to tap into all the solutions, the endless solutions that he has. And it's the missing link for so many people. This is my last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you guys go. One of the reasons that I got one of the things that I got into coaching for was to help women like me start to take the actions that I had taken that had helped me find success and overcome the struggles in my own health and fitness journey. Okay. There were certain things that I felt like I was banging my head up against the wall, and I was getting nowhere with it. I was like, why can't I do this? Why are other women successful in it and I am not? And change started to happen when I decided that I was going to figure it out. And that's all I'm inviting you to do. I'm inviting you to stop dropping out the negative narrative that's in your head in a comment box and putting it off on somebody else to swoop in and help you, like, not help you, but save you from yourself. You know what your needs are better than anybody else. Now, I can help guide you and I can help facilitate it, but I can't come into your living room and make you do the workout. I can't come into your kitchen and make you meal plan. I can't come into your relationship with you and food and help you get over that. I can't, but I can guide you along the way. I can share with you the steps that I've taken, but it's up to you to actually take the action steps and make the change happen. You see what I'm saying? So my role here is to provide inspiration and ideas and personal growth opportunities for you to overcome those traps of the enemy that hold you back. And I'm not going to be complacent with you just listening and taking no action in your life. The question is, are you? All right? And I say that with all my love. I've got to go for today, but I hope that this has been a blessing to you, and I hope that this chat gets you starting to think about how you can overcome this negative script in your mind, this negative narrative, and flip the script. I can't wait to hear back from you guys. Y'all have a good day. Bye.